The crystal chandeliers of Salvitas, Chicago's most exclusive restaurant, threw shards of golden light across the marble floor. The clink of silverware and the low hum of conversation created an atmosphere of effortless luxury. Lily Adams smoothed her black uniform for the third time, willing her trembling hands to be still. It wasn't nerves about serving the city's elite. It was a familiar pressure of pretending to be someone she wasn't. At 21, she had perfected invisibility. She could glide to the dining room unseen, her polite smile polished to perfection. For 6 months, this job had been her lifeline, the money barely enough to cover rent and tuition at the local college where she studied linguistics and international relations. It was a simple life, far removed from the shadows of her past. "Table 9 needs their wine refilled," Heather, the head waitress, called without looking up. "And try not to spill anything on Mr. Corsetti tonight. He's already complained twice about the temperature." Lily nodded, grabbing the bottle of Bordeaux that cost more than a week's pay. The name Dante Corsetti sent a chill through her. Even his name sounded dangerous. For 2 months, she had served his table. He had never looked at her long enough to remember her face, until tonight. The Corsettis were royalty in Chicago's underworld. Powerful, untouchable, and the very kind of people Lily had spent her life trying to escape. "Excuse me, miss." The voice was deep, smooth, and commanding. Lily froze. Turning, she found Dante Corsetti standing closer than expected, tall, dark-haired, his suit cut sharp enough to look like armor. His eyes were dark, unreadable, and far too intense. "Your wine, sir," she murmured, lifting the bottle. "Not for me." His tone softened slightly as he gestured toward a woman behind him. "My mother, she's been trying to get your attention." Lily turned, and her breath caught. Mrs. Corsetti sat elegantly at the table, her silver hair gleaming beneath the light, her kind eyes trying to communicate through gestures. Lily realized instantly the woman was deaf. Setting the bottle down, Lily smiled and signed fluently. "Good evening. How may I help you?" The older woman's face lit up, her hands moving swiftly in reply. "Oh, how wonderful. I wanted to thank the chef for the risotto. It reminds me of Naples. I'll make sure he hears your praise." Lily signed back, smiling genuinely for the first time that night. The restaurant had grown quiet around them, diners watching curiously as Lily and Mrs. Corsetti's hands moved in graceful dialogue. For a few precious moments, Lily forgot herself, lost in the warmth of genuine human connection. "Your signing is beautiful," Mrs. Corsetti said. "Where did you learn?" Lily hesitated. "I grew up with a deaf cousin." She signed automatically, then froze. She had spent months hiding her past, even changing her name. That small slip was enough to unravel everything. "You're full of surprises, aren't you?" Dante's voice came from behind, cool and sharp. Lily turned, pulse racing. His eyes were on her now, not as a waitress, but as a mystery. "It was just something I picked up," she said quickly. "Nothing important." Dante stepped closer, his tone low, dangerous. "You speak Italian Sign Language." "Fluently. That's not nothing." "I should get back to work," she murmured, reaching for the bottle. "Wait." His hand caught her wrist, not roughly, but firmly enough to stop her. A jolt of electricity passed between them. For a moment, the restaurant, the patrons, the noise, all faded. "I'm sorry," Dante said softly. "That was harsh. My mother doesn't connect with many people. What you did tonight meant something." Lily's instinct was to pull away, but there was something vulnerable in his eyes, something that made her hesitate. "Your mother is lovely," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. 3 days later, Lily was still thinking about the Corsettis. She expected to be fired for drawing attention to herself, but instead Heather handed her an envelope. Inside was a generous tip and a handwritten note. "Thank you for seeing my mother, DC." That Tuesday, the restaurant was unusually quiet. Lily was refilling glasses when she felt it, a heavy gaze following her every move. She looked up. Dante Corsetti was there, sitting alone, watching her. Moments later, the restaurant manager approached, lowering his voice. "Mr. Corsetti would like to speak with you." "And Lily, be careful. That family doesn't forgive easily." With trembling hands, Lily approached the table. "Good evening, Mr. Corsetti. How may I help you?" "Sit down." His tone was polite, but absolute. She hesitated, then sat. "I think it's time we talk about who you really are," Dante said, swirling the wine in his glass. "Your accent slips sometimes. Boston, yes? And you flinch when I mention certain names. Ollie Flanagan. Old Irish families with ties to my father's enemies." Lily froze. He had noticed everything. "I'm just a waitress," she managed weakly. "A waitress who speaks Neapolitan Sign Language," Dante countered. "A dialect so rare, even my mother struggled to find an interpreter for it." Lily's throat tightened. "You've been watching me," she said, her voice trembling between accusation and fear. "I watch everyone," Dante said simply. "That's how I stay alive. But you, Lily Adams, or should I say Lily O'Malley, you're different." The blood drained from her face. "My mother thinks you're an angel," he continued. "She says you have kind eyes, despite the fear you carry. Tell me, why would Patrick O'Malley's daughter be working in a restaurant owned by the Corsetti's allies?" The sound of rain filled the silence between them. "I left that life," Lily whispered. "I wanted nothing to do with my father's business. I changed my name. I started over." "No one leaves that life," Dante said quietly, "especially not Patrick O'Malley's daughter." Her heart pounded as his words sank in. "My father disowned me," she confessed finally, 2 years ago, when I refused to marry into the Sullivan family. As far as he's concerned, I'm dead." For the first time, Dante's expression softened. "So you chose exile over being a pawn. Foolish, but brave." "Not brave enough," Lily said bitterly. "I left my younger siblings behind. I should have protected them." Dante's gaze darkened. "Your youngest brother, Tommy, he's safe. My people have been keeping an eye on him at college in Vermont." Lily's head snapped up. "You've been watching him?" "Initially, yes," Dante admitted, "to find you. But things change when your father's right-hand man, Sean Flanagan, sent men after him. We stopped them." Lily's breath hitched. "That's impossible. Flanagan's been with my father for decades." "Loyalty fades when power shifts," Dante said. "And your father is losing his grip. Flanagan's been making deals with the Russians." Outside, lightning flashed. Through the rain-streaked window, Lily saw a dark SUV idling by the curb. "Your family is collapsing," Dante continued, "and the fallout will be catastrophic." "Why tell me this?" she asked. "Because I need your help." His tone was calm but urgent. "You know Flanagan's habits, his contacts, his weaknesses. You could help me stop a war before it starts." Lily shook her head. "You want me to betray my family?" "I want you to save what's left of it." Their eyes met. For the first time, she saw not just power in his gaze, but purpose. Before she could speak, a waitress hurried over. "Lily, there's a man at the bar asking about you. Irish accent. Scar over his right eye." Lily's blood ran cold. "Declan." Dante's voice dropped. "Flanagan's enforcer?" She nodded. "He killed my cousin for less than this." Dante was already moving. "There's a service corridor through the kitchen. Go now. My driver will meet you behind the building." "Why are you helping me?" she whispered. "Because you helped my mother," he said simply. "Now let me return the favor." As she ran, Lily didn't look back. But she heard Dante's voice, calm and deadly, as he faced the danger she brought to his door. The rain came down harder, pelting the alley behind Salvitas in silver streaks. Lily's shoes splashed through puddles as she ran, her breath sharp and ragged in the cold. A black car idled by the dumpster, headlights dimmed. The driver's door opened and a man stepped out, a solid wall of muscle in a dark coat. "Miss Adams," he asked. Lily hesitated. "Who sent you?" "Mr. Corsetti. Name's Marco." "Get in." Before she could question him further, a gunshot cracked through the rain. The bullet whizzed past her shoulder, slamming into the brick wall behind. "Go!" Marco barked, grabbing her arm and pushing her into the car. Tires screeched as they sped down the narrow street. Through the rear window, Lily caught a glimpse of Declan Flanagan, the scarred man with the ice-blue eyes. raising his gun again before disappearing into the shadows. "Who was that?" Marco asked, glancing in the mirror. "My father's man," Lily gasped. "If he found me here, that means he knows about Dante too." Marco's jaw tightened. Then this just got complicated. They drove for over an hour, leaving the glittering skyline behind. The city gave way to open fields and dark roads until they reached an isolated villa near the lake, modern, sprawling, and surrounded by silence. Inside, warmth and firelight greeted her. Dante stood by the window, phone in hand, voice calm but lethal. "Keep every exit covered. No one in or out." He hung up, turning to her. "You're safe for now." Lily's hand shook as she sank into a leather chair. "Flanagan's men won't stop until they find me. He's not just protecting my father. He's running everything behind his back." "I know," Dante said quietly. "And he's already made contact with my rivals. If he succeeds, both families will burn." Lily looked up at him, confusion and fear swirling in her eyes. "So this isn't about revenge. It's about survival." Dante nodded. "And redemption." He poured her a glass of water and handed it to her, his hand brushing hers. Warm, steady, grounding. "Tell me everything you know about Flanagan," he said. She hesitated, then began to speak. Slowly, the story poured out, the coded meetings, the hidden shipments through Boston Harbor, the money laundering through Shell Charities. As she spoke, Dante listened in silence, piecing together the war forming in the shadows. When she finished, he exhaled. "You just gave me the key to dismantle half the network." "Good," she said bitterly. "Maybe then I can sleep again." Dante studied her for a moment. "You're stronger than you realize, Lily." She laughed softly. "No, just tired of being afraid." For the first time that night, he smiled. "Fear keeps us alive. But courage, that's what changes things." By dawn, the house was buzzing with quiet movement. Dante's men reviewed documents, exchanged coded messages, and armed themselves. The plan was simple: intercept Flanagan's shipment before it left the docks that night. Lily insisted on going. "You're not trained for this," Dante said. "I know the docks better than anyone," she replied firmly. "You need me." He didn't argue further. That evening, dressed in dark clothes and a borrowed jacket, Lily stood beside Dante overlooking the stormy harbor. The air reeked of salt and diesel. Cranes moved like ghosts in the fog. "There," she whispered, pointing to a cluster of shipping containers marked Sereno Imports. "That's his front. The cargo holds are coded 47B and 49F. 47B will have the ledgers." Dante gave a small nod to his men. "Move." They advanced silently, splitting into groups. Lily stayed behind him, her pulse thundering. Every creak of metal felt like a scream in the night. Then movement. A shadow detached itself from the mist. "Declan." Well, he sneered, stepping into the light, gun raised. "The prodigal daughter returns." "Declan, you don't have to do this," Lily said, her voice shaking. "Don't I?" he smirked. "You betrayed your blood. You handed your family to the wolves." "She's not your family anymore," Dante said coldly, stepping between them. Declan's grin widened. "And you think you can protect her? You're just another Corsetti, another devil pretending to be a savior." Before he could fire, a gunshot cracked through the fog. Declan stumbled, eyes wide, then fell. Lily turned. Marco lowered his smoking gun. "Clear," he said. For a moment, silence reigned, broken only by the crash of waves and Lily's uneven breathing. "It's over," Dante said softly. But it wasn't. From behind containers, half a dozen men emerged, weapons drawn. A firefight erupted, gunfire, shouting, chaos. Dante pulled Lily down behind a crate, shielding her as bullets tore through the air. "Stay with me," he shouted. Lily reached for a fallen pistol, heart pounding. When one of Flanagan's men came around the corner, she fired. Her first shot wild, her second dead on. Dante glanced at her, surprise flickering across his face. "Remind me never to underestimate you again." "Too late," she said, trying to steady her shaking hands. After what felt like hours, but could only have been minutes, The gunfire ceased. The dock fell silent. Flanagan's men were gone, dead, captured, or scattered into the storm. Back at the villa, dawn broke pale and quiet. The rain had stopped. Lily stood by the window, watching the light ripple across the lake. Dante joined her, his arm in a sling from a grazing wound. "Flanagan's finished," he said. "Interpol raided his warehouse in Boston this morning. They'll find enough evidence to bury him for life." "And my father?" she asked softly. "He's alive, but he's lost everything." Lily closed her eyes. "Maybe that's justice. Or maybe it's mercy," Dante murmured. For a long moment, neither spoke. The silence between them wasn't heavy. It was healing. "You could stay," Dante said finally. "My mother already thinks of you as family. You don't have to run anymore." She turned to him, eyes glistening. "And what about you? Would you want me to stay?" His gaze softened. "You already know the answer." He reached for her hand, his touch gentle but certain. "I've spent my life cleaning up my family's sins," he said. "You've spent yours running from yours. Maybe it's time we build something neither of them could destroy." Lily smiled faintly through her tears. "You think two broken people can start over?" Dante brushed a strand of wet hair from her face. "I think broken people are the only ones who know how." Outside, the first light of morning shimmered over the water, turning the storm's remnants into gold. Lily took a deep breath. For the first time in years, the air didn't taste like fear. She had lost everything, her name, her family, her past. But in the ashes, she had found something worth keeping. Hope, and maybe, just maybe, love.